Alright, time to play some D&D online. Now to just pick a virtual tabletop first. Wait, which one? Oh, maybe Roll20? Everyone seems to be using that. Maybe. Wait, what's Owlbear Rodeo? Fantasy Grounds? Maybe Foundry after all? Oh no, there's even more? Which one should I pick? If you've ever felt confused or overwhelmed when trying to pick a VTT for playing TTRPGs online, then this is the video for you, because I tried over 20 VTTs so I could give you the perfect VTT for your needs. Hi, my name is Fondu. I run this channel called Dice and Easy, where I give you VTT tips and tricks, talk about TTRPGs, and post daily TTRPG memes as YouTube shorts. You can think of me as your VTT wizard. If that interests you, hit those subscribe and like buttons down there. So when the old pandemic hit us 3 years ago, I no longer comprehend time. There was suddenly a huge rise in the need for VTTs, and boy howdy has the number of VTTs increased rapidly since then. There are now VTTs ranging from a simple grid map where you can move your tokens and roll dice, to ones that allow you to endlessly customize them and set up automations, and even fully fledged 3D VTTs which take the visuals to the next level. Very briefly, a virtual tabletop, or VTT for short, is a piece of software that allows you to play tabletop role-playing games like Dungeons & Dragons digitally online by providing a virtual space where players can move tokens on maps, roll dice, sometimes even 3D dice, and interact with each other and the game world. It can be quite hard to decide which VTT you should pick. Do you want a simple one, or should it be a behemoth allowing you to tweak to your heart's content? Should it be 2D or 3D, or maybe even pixel art? Sure, you could go watch reviews of them all, but good luck, because there are at least over 20 VTTs. So that's why I tried over 20 VTTs to bring you this video to give you my favorite VTTs for different use cases. I'll tell you more about my process of choosing the VTTs next, but first, some disclaimers. You won't see a best VTT category in this video because there's no objectively best VTT. There are VTTs that are meant for different use cases and scenarios, and a lot of it comes down to personal preference. Also, this is just my opinion. Another person might give you different options for the very same categories I came up with, because a lot of this comes down to your personal preference. I have certain biases that affect my choice. I've used Foundry for over 200 hours, for example, so don't take this as some great truth, but just as my humble opinion. Okay, with that disclaimer out of the way, let me tell you my process of selecting these VTTs. I devised the following criteria for VTTs to be considered for this video. First, the VTT has to be in active development. I basically checked to see if there had been any updates to the software or in the developer's communication in the last 6 months. Second, the VTT has to be currently available. I know there are several interesting VTTs in development like Minir and the official D&D VTT, but if I can't access it right now to try it out, it didn't make the cut. Early access is fine, however. Third, it has to be designed/intended for playing TTRPGs. There are many map-making and world-building software which in theory could be used to play, but they are not intended for that. These candidates had to be meant for TTRPG play. Alright. Then I went ahead and searched online for VTTs that met this criteria and made a list of over 20 VTTs. If you want to see the whole list, you can find it in the description below. Of course, I might have missed a VTT or two in the process since there are so many of them and new ones coming out constantly. Then I tried each VTT one by one, giving a single VTT roughly 1 hour of testing time, and wrote down my pros and cons of each VTT and my final thoughts on the specific VTT. By the way, I streamed part of this process on my Twitch channel, twitch.tv/diceandeasy. Go give me a follow there if you want to see me looking at VTTs and talking about TTRPGs live. Link is down there in the description. Lastly, I decided on categories based on different needs that people might have in using a VTT, and populated them with VTTs. With all of that background work done, let's jump into the first category: the best simple VTT. This first category is going to have 2 VTTs actually, because both of them handle a specific aspect of TTRPGs so simply and beautifully. Owlbear Rodeo. This VTT is phenomenal in its simplicity. If you want to get moving tokens on a map right now, then you need Owlbear Rodeo. With version 1 not even requiring sign up, you just go to their webpage, click Start Game, choose a password for your game, and you're in. Then you just share the link to your game to your players, and they can join in on their browser. It's so simple and easy to start using this VTT, and did I mention? It's free. Once you're in, adding a battle map is easy with Owlbear Rodeo's pre-made battle maps, or you can import your own maps. Adding tokens, moving them around, drawing on the map, and throwing 3D dice, I love that they have 3D dice here, is all easy to do with Owlbear Rodeo's intuitive and sleek UI. But if you want to do anything beyond that, well, that's where Owlbear Rodeo's limitations become apparent. You won't find character sheets, journals, automation, or official third-party content like D&D Adventures here. Owlbear Rodeo's strength, its simplicity, is also its weakness. I should mention that there's also a version 2 of Owlbear Rodeo which adds initiative tracking, better mobile support, animated map support, and a support for third-party extensions, which could allow for a huge amount of mods in the future. But you need an account for version 2, which is free, but there are also paid tier options. Fari. Where Owlbear Rodeo is fantastic for a simple battle map VTT, Fari excels at simple character sheets and journals. It offers an easy way to create custom character sheets for any TTRPG, but there are also over 150 templates for various TTRPGs like D&D, Fate, and Cyberpunk Red. The journaling system, or scenes as they are known in Fari, lets you easily write notes both public and private. No account is needed for Fari, and as with Owlbear Rodeo, it's free to use, browser-based, and works great on mobile. However, if you want to go beyond any of this, Fari won't be able to do that for you. Again, the simplicity is what makes this VTT great, but also what limits it. Another big downside is that the rooms you use are not persistent, so you'll have to set up everything again when you come back to your game. So if you want something simple but effective, Owlbear Rodeo and Fari are your choices. Oh, by the way, all these VTTs will be linked in the description below, so if you want to find them, links are down there. Best VTT for Theater of the Mind. Alchemy RPG. The VTT that doesn't feel like a VTT, but like an immersive TTRPG experience. I don't think there's a VTT with a more stylish interface, and not only does it look mind-blowingly beautiful, it's also very easy to pick up and use. With its support for music and built-in special effects for scenes, Alchemy RPG is absolutely amazing for playing Theater of the Mind games like Powered by the Apocalypse, because it lets you build gorgeous scenes that tickle all the senses. All of them. You can create journal notes, roll dice, make character sheets, all in the sleek, beautiful UI of Alchemy RPG. There is a battle map feature in Alchemy RPG, but it's very rudimentary and will leave you mostly wanting for more if you're playing crunchier games like D&D and Pathfinder. That, coupled with a lack of automation between the character sheet resources and actions, will have you doing a lot of manual resource updating, which can be frustrating for these crunchier games. Another big downside for Alchemy is that there is very little official third-party support. However, they are currently out in Kickstarter and have announced support for a multitude of games like Pathfinder, Call of Cthulhu, City of Mist, and other games from third-party publishers. So, with their version 1 coming out in the fall, there should be a lot more official support coming. With the release of version 1 of Alchemy, I'm imagining bespoke music, art, and effects for specific game systems, which I hope that we'll get more of in Alchemy as version 1 comes out. Like, imagine you're playing Call of Cthulhu where you're walking down a foggy city street, alone on a mysterious night. The music is eerily creepy, the artwork gorgeous with special effects on top to depict the mist. That would be awesome. Oh, and Alchemy, please add 3D dice. The people, me, want it. So if you're playing Theater of the Mind games, Alchemy is absolutely your best choice. It's free with paid tiers as well and runs in your browser. Most versatile VTT, Foundry VTT. Think of a thing you wish your VTT could do. Okay, now think of another one. Foundry VTT can do that. Foundry Core already offers a great set of features like maps, journals, character sheets, etc., but where this VTT really shines is its modding community. There is a plethora of mods that let you basically do whatever you want with the VTT. 3D dice? Check. Cool visual effects for spells, weathers, and time of day? Yup. Got a module for that. Heck, there's even a module that allows you to make 3D scenes with 3D models as tokens in Foundry VTT. What? However, all this versatility comes at a price. And that price is a steep learning curve. There are many things that you will have to learn with Foundry Core, and all those modules will have so much more you need to learn. Oh, and the modules are community made, which means they can break when a new major Foundry version comes out and the module maker needs to update the module, if they ever do it. Another big downside to Foundry VTT is hosting. If you want to do it yourself, you need to start looking into port forwarding and other network settings, plus you need a good internet connection. Luckily, there are hosting services that offer to take care of this for you. I made a video on the hosting services, which you can find up in the right corner now. Foundry is the VTT that I've used the most at over 200 hours into it, and I absolutely love it. I mean, just look at my channel. But I do recognize it can feel like a daunting piece of software to learn, but once you get over that hump, a whole new world of possibilities opens for you. Pricing-wise, Foundry VTT is a single $50 purchase for the GM, and players get to join campaigns for free through their browser, which is more than a fair price for what you're getting. Best VTT for official third-party content. Roll20. This is a recommendation which is a bit hard for me to make, but it is undeniable that Roll20 has the best official third-party support. With third-party support, I mean official adventures and book for Pathfinder, D&D, etc. available to purchase on the platform. Roll20 offers you a fairly straightforward VTT with support for maps, tokens, combat tracking, 3D dice, journals, etc. And since it's browser-based, it's also easy for players to join and get playing quickly. One of Roll20's big strengths is that it's one of the only VTTs that has all the official D&D adventures purchasable with maps, tokens, walls, lights, etc. all set up and ready for play. It also has Pathfinder, Call of Cthulhu, and Cyberpunk Red official adventures there, among many others. Yes, I know that Fantasy Grounds also has official adventures, but Fantasy Grounds has a very steep learning curve, and it's more expensive. While Roll20 is by no means as daunting a software as Foundry or Fantasy Grounds, and can be easily learned, its main problems are its clunkiness and performance issues. The UI is not always intuitive, and finding what you need can be painful. Then, lagginess and freezing are common occurrences even on good machines, which creates a frustrating user experience. The software is free to use, but they lock features like dynamic lighting and mod support behind a monthly subscription, which I'm not a fan of. However, if you just want a VTT where you can purchase and plug and play an official adventure like Curse of Strahd to make it easier for yourself, then Roll20 is your best choice, in my opinion. A VTT like no other. One More Multiverse. Do you want your VTT experience to feel like Stardew Valley or an SNES JRPG? Then One More Multiverse is for you. Out of the over 20 VTTs I tried, there is no other VTT like One More Multiverse, and it's free to boot, plus it runs in your browser. One More Multiverse offers a beautiful pixel art TTRPG experience with a fantastic character creator that lets you create the pixel art fantasy character of your dreams. On top of that, it has a good tool for building pixel art maps with a large variety of assets to use. However, there are two major downsides to One More Multiverse. Firstly, there is only official support for 3 indie TTRPGs and the D&D SRD as well. So you're going to have to create character sheets and actions for other systems yourself. Secondly, building maps yourself can be very time consuming. Although, to their credit, it looks like there are big partnerships in the future of One More Multiverse, if the Blades in the Dark partnership is anything to go by, and you can find community-made maps to cut down on map building time. If you want a VTT experience like no other and want that Stardew Valley / SNES pixel art look, One More Multiverse is something truly special. Just be prepared to set up a lot of system things yourself. The VTT market is in a very interesting place right now. Because of the pandemic, we saw an explosion in VTTs in the market to accommodate for the increased demand for online playing. As such, we have a lot of very interesting VTTs out there trying to find their own niche, and there are several VTTs on their way like Minir and the D&D VTT, which look to be pushing the envelope of what a VTT can do. Trying out all these VTTs was an absolute blast, and it was interesting to notice some trends. Like, there were clearly categories of simpler VTTs, versatile and more complex ones, then some that fell between complex and simple and felt like they didn't really fit well anywhere. Also, we have VTTs trying to have a very unique spin, with some succeeding and others just feeling gimmicky. When it comes to the future of VTTs, I think we're going to see more new VTTs still come out, but eventually many of them will go away, and some will survive and become staples in the TTRPG industry. I think Alchemy is going to be one of those staples. Also, I think in the future there will be more 3D VTTs, with technology like Unreal Engine 5 allowing for incredible visuals and better procedural generation tools for 3D map making to save time. Alright, let's recap. For a simple, no-nonsense VTT, go with Owlbear Rodeo for battle map functionalities, and Far8 for character sheets and journal functionalities. For an amazing, immersive, theater of the mind experience, Alchemy RPG is your best bet. For an incredible amount of customization and versatility, Foundry VTT is your best choice, and my personal VTT of choice. If all you want is the easiest way to play an adventure like Curse of Strahd or another official adventure, Roll20 will serve you best. And lastly, for a VTT experience like no other, with beautiful pixel art, one more multiverse as you covered. And there you have it, my virtual tabletop recommendations for different needs. Which VTT do you like to use? Let me know in the comments below. Trying out over 20 VTTs took a good amount of time for me, and this video is the most research and background work I have ever done for a video on this channel. So if you enjoyed this video, you can show that to me by liking and subscribing the channel down there, and by sharing this video with your friends. It really does help me out a lot, and I'm trying to grow this channel, which is a passion project of mine. Also, as I mentioned before, I stream on twitch.tv/diceandeasy every Monday and Wednesday at 6 p.m. Eastern European Standard Time, which is 8 a.m. Pacific and 11 a.m. Eastern, where you can see me use VTTs and talk about TTRPGs. I would love to see you over there, and you can find a link to my channel in the description below. Alright, on the screen right now, you can see a video of mine where I give you my favorite Foundry VTT models. You should check it out. It's a good video. Alright, I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.